Yogi Clan, welcome back to Yogi Cycle Service. Today I want to talk about pack riding and the use of blockers. I had a person make some comments on my previous video about using blockers that I kind of want to talk about and get your opinion on. But first, if you're new here to Yogi Cycle Service, I thank you for stopping by. I am Yogi, and here at Yogi Cycle Service, we talk about motorcycle-related things. We do videos on service, maintenance, repairs, pretty much anything motorcycle-related. So if you like this video, I ask you to surf around, check out some of my other videos. I got a bunch of videos out there and a bunch of content. You're bound to find something, hopefully, that you'll like. And if you do, I ask you to give a brother some love and mash that subscribe button and hit the like button and share some videos, tell your friends about it. If you're a returning subscriber, I thank you for stopping by and checking out this video. So, I'm going to put the link up here to the video that I'm referencing. And in the comments, a guy named Jeffrey said, excluding memorial rides and funeral rides, why can't you just take your turn at intersections like normal people? All you do is piss off everyone else. To which I replied, for the sake of keeping our pack together for safety reasons. Generally, we do not do this unless it's a big run like a benefit ride. And when that's happening, every rider's safety is my #1 priority. And frankly, I don't care if a cage has to sit a minute while we safely pass. Me and everyone in our pack gets back safely. That's why. So you said, yeah, pack safety is an important thing. Safer than blocking intersections and green lights. All it would take is somebody not paying attention a split second to continue through the green light and run over your portions of your pack. Remember, lots of people play on their cell phones regardless if it's an intersection or not. Sneeze a little bit of sun in your eye and you stopped in the middle of an intersection on a green light, maybe you won't make it home. We need all the wild hogs to make it home. And how is it any different, I replied, if I employ the police to escort our ride? And they in turn block the intersections we go through the lights just as if we block them with blockers. How is that any different? To which he said, that would make it safe. They have special lights and sirens. I mean, you say you're all about pack safety, let the cops risk their lives. Who needs them anyway, right? Or you could just follow normal traffic laws and set in place like traffic lights and stop signs. You know, like everyone else, I mean, if you're a blocker and get injured because you're impeding traffic, how does that help the pack? There'll be a man down and not very smart. To me, ride defensive and be safe. That was one big long sentence without a period or punctuation. But that's beside the point. Let's talk about this. I'll tell you why we choose to use blockers. Now, I will also say this. For this past year's orphan run in April, and for last year's orphan run, because I knew the pack was getting to be potentially larger than 60 motorcycles, because I think that there's a line of where you do use blockers and you don't use blockers, or you use blockers and maybe you decide to get the police to come and block for you. Because apparently this fellow doesn't have a problem with police blocking for you. He has a problem with us blocking for us. It's okay if the police do it, just not if we do it. Because the police have lights and sirens. My goodness, that is bright. I'm going to put on some sunglasses. There we go, that's better. So I will say for the orphan run, like I was getting to a moment ago, the orphan run the past year, we did have it police escorted. I'll say it was really nice to have it police escorted because it took all the pressure off of us who A, lead the ride, or B, have to use our men as blockers for the ride. You know, with police escort, they keep the whole pack together. They lock down intersections and keep the whole pack together. But you know what? We can do that too with our blockers. And I will also say this to Mr. Jeffrey. If you're going to obey all laws, let's say we're on the orphan run, right? Well, this year, we tried to hire the police to have them do the orphan run, and it looked like a little bit of rain was potentially coming. Well, guess what, Jeffrey? The freaking cops didn't show up. Police did not show. So now I have to lead a ride with 60 bikes and no police escort. Okay, Jeffrey, what would you like me to do then? Do you think that every single person on that ride knows the route of the ride? So we're heading down the road, right? And we get to a traffic light, and it's green when I go through it as the leader of the ride. Well, that 60 bike long group, man, that's a half mile to a mile behind you of people. Now, let's say that light turns color in the middle of it. Okay, stop the pack now. So what? Now I got to pull over the front of the pack and wait for the second pack to go through the light and then get those 30 people back on the road and time it just perfectly to get in front of the other people? Because the other people, Jeffrey, don't know where they're going. They don't. They don't know where they're going. They have no clue. If you come to my ride and you're in the middle of the orphan run, are you going to know where to go? If the front half of the pack takes off and disappears? I don't think so, Jeffrey. I don't think you will. I don't think you're gonna be like, oh, well, yeah, lost the pack. Okay, I guess we just go back to Speedway Harley Davidson because we had no idea the route that we're trying to go. Yeah, that's brilliant, Jeffrey. Or would you rather use your guys as blockers to keep everybody together, to keep everybody safe? And come on, man, you think people are going to run? Yeah, I understand. People may be looking at cell phones. People may have their sun in the eyes. Well, you know what? That happens too when cops block intersections. Hate to tell you, Jeffrey. So, I don't care. You can argue with me about this topic until the cows come home. But I'm going to do everything in my power to keep a group of riders who are following behind me on a run safe. And if that means that we use guys to block intersections, they know the hazards of what do you think they do? Just pull in the intersection and put their hand up and not pay attention to the traffic? If there's somebody coming, you think they're probably going to get out of the way. They're probably going to move. Sure, I know accidents happen, Jeffrey. I know they do. Now, if we're riding in a group of 8, 10, 12, do we use blockers? No, we don't. The only time I would really use blockers is when we do something big like the Orphan Run, or maybe a Gone But Not Forgotten Run. So like our Gone But Not Forgotten Run, there were about 40 bikes in that. Is that big enough that I'm going to call for a police escort? No, probably not. So we'll use blockers to block. And I have talked with enough police. Now, not everybody views the same way. And they're like, yeah, we probably won't. Yeah, we're not going to mess with you on that. Just call us and tell us what you're doing first off. That way we have a heads up of what's going on. Make us aware of the situation. And you guys do what you need to do. That's kind of the view. So I hate to tell you, Mr. Jeffrey, but yeah, my guys' safety is important. And I'm sorry, a random sun in an eyeball and a driver not seeing us is not worth it enough for me to be splitting up the pack and pulling half the pack over and trying to get the pack back together and worried about, are these people going to make it because they got cut off and they have no idea where we're going? I mean, come on, man. Come on. You're not seeing the other side of the coin. I think you're not seeing the other side of the coin because you have no experience doing that. Have you ever led a group ride, Jeffrey? Because if you've never led a group ride, I'm not taking your rebuttals. Sorry, bro. I've led enough group rides for enough time to know what works and what does not work. And I know that blockers work. And I have yet to have a situation, knock on wood, because I don't want to say that, because the moment I say that, it's the moment it's going to happen. So, Mr. Jeffrey, let me tell you how we do this. Because I'm not just going to go up to an intersection and just throw a bunch of blockers out there and stop everybody who's coming up to the intersection. No, we will obey traffic laws. So when we're coming up to a stop sign, right? Like here I am right now, coming up to a stop sign. I'm going to come to a complete stop at the stop sign. I'm going to look both ways. I'm going to look for a window of opportunity. I do my best as a leader of a pack, as someone who leads a pack, to make sure that the intersections are clear as can be, to get a bulk of the group out into the roadway before any traffic comes. And to ensure all of our members' safety, we use blockers to keep that intersection locked down until the pack is out and on the road. And honestly, I don't really see any other way to do it. I really don't. Short of having it be police escorted. But if you don't have a police escort, for instance, if they don't show up after you've had them scheduled, what else are you supposed to do? How else are you supposed to get that pack from point A to point B in a safe manner when it is something that is a large pack? I define large pack as 50 or greater. And I'm sorry, but I am not going to split the pack up. Not going to do it. Not everybody knows where we're going. So because of that, we use blockers. I don't know what to tell you, bro. So I guess I throw the question back on you, Mr. Jeffrey. If you were to lead a ride of, let's say, 50, how would you lead that ride? Would you pull everybody over to wait till the rest of the pack catches up and then keep on going? And don't say, well, I would get it police escorted. Bull crap, you would. You're not going to police escort every single ride you go on. You're just not going to do that. It's just not going to happen. So I've heard Bike and Bird talk about how he just absolutely hates to lead group rides. It's for that very reason. That's why people hate to lead group rides. And I don't really think that you got a leg to stand on unless you've done it before. And I know so many people that'll preach, you should do this, you should do that, but they've never led a group ride. Never. So I'd be curious your background, Mr. Jeffrey. You think some guy is flexing and wanting to throw his weight around and block intersections. No, dude, that's not what this is at all. Trust me, I would prefer not to block intersections if I don't have to. And yes, we do obey all the laws, except for speeding. We may push that one a little bit, allegedly. And I think back to all the times where I'm looking in my rearview mirror and seeing how long the group is behind us and looking at the traffic light coming up in front of us thinking, there's a possibility that may turn yellow soon. Well, if that's going to happen, let's start slowing this pack down, get everybody collected back together, because I'm going to try to time it where we get stopped at this light. That way I know that if we are stopped at this light, there's a much higher percentage chance that I can get everybody through the light while it's green. Therefore, obeying all traffic laws. A lot of things that factor into this conversation that I just don't think that Mr. Jeffrey is thinking about. And no, we don't do it to terrorize the people in cages of, hey, we're taking over this intersection. This intersection is ours. We know you have the green light. We have the red light. Screw you, we're going through it. No. I will sit there until the light turns green. And when the light turns green, we'll go through it. But we will lock down side coming traffic while it is green to make sure that if we can't get everybody through the light while it's still green, that we're not splitting up the pack. Would I love to have it be police escorted? Yes. You know why? Because that takes all the pressure off of me or anybody else who is leading that pack. It takes all the pressure off. I don't have to worry about traffic. I don't have to worry about the route. I don't have to worry about, is the person 10 bikes back looking at the flowers in the field and not paying attention to where we're going or what we're doing. It takes all, you have no idea the amount of pressure it takes off when somebody else is blocking and you don't have to worry about it. You just enjoy the ride. That's the only thing I worry about. It's just enjoying the ride. When you don't have that police escort and it's all on you, and that onus is all on you, the amount of pressure that is quite high. So I don't mean to be a jerk, Mr. Jeffrey, but I have led enough rides where we didn't use blockers versus rides where we do use blockers, and I will tell you the ones where we do use blockers are much more successful. If the person who is leading the ride is doing it properly, then he's really not putting his blockers at risk. He's not willy-nilly putting people out into a dangerous intersection in a dangerous situation. He's looking, he's calculating, he's making sure that the place is clear, the path is clear, and any oncoming traffic is far enough away that a pack rolling through an intersection will be quite a visual cue as, what's going on up here? Let me brake and find out what the heck's going on because my light is green, yet there's a whole bunch of motorcycles coming out in front of me. It's a fact also, police escort in this area here, you have to put in your ride 90 days in advance in order to get a police escort. I will tell you, not all the time can I get a ride that we're doing scheduled with them 90 days in advance. It doesn't happen. So I can't guarantee that I get a police escort. So if I can't get a police escort, what am I to do? So there you go, Yogi Clan. There is my rant and rebuttal to Mr. Jeffrey this morning. I appreciate all of your input. Leave your comments below on what your thoughts are, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, y'all. Peace.